What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another Thursday night of the HotdogFPV Team Talk Night. We got a couple special guests. We got Chris and Jameson from NewBee Drone are here.
What up?
What's up? Hot dog!
Looks like Kelly is here, just popping in.
Howdy, Kelly.
What's up, man?
Oh, he's got no earphones.
No earphones? We can't hear Kelly.
I can't hear you.
He'll figure it out.
How about now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
My microphone wasn't plugged in.
Oh, that helps.
You always gotta have the hold on the mic.
I'm having serious camera problems here.
Well, it's because you got new gear for this week.
Camera is doing the.
Shout to your sensei.
That's like me at the end of the day.
Derek, your face is underneath the hot dog logo this time.
Oh yeah, whatever. Nobody wants to look at me anyway.
He's just gonna start like.
They don't come here to see me.
Going with the camera.
This isn't going well anyway. I might have to redo this.
That's what happens when you try to get new gear and liven up the show, man.
Right? I'm just trying to make it better for everybody.
Yeah,
Let's take a selfie for the NewBee Drone Instagram to show that we're live with you guys.
Do it.
Do it live.
Do it.
Everybody make a funny face and they got to get us in the
commentate it.
Commentators. Taters.
All right, 1, 2. All right, I'll go ahead and go post that. It ended up so. Oh, hold on. Yeah, this is the. This is going to be the photo, and then I'll zoom in on whoever. That's who got caught on the screen.
It was you, the other maker. Make it happen.
Ben's the winner. That's all right. He's Big Papa.
I'm the wiener chicken diener.
Oh no! Dang it!
He deleted it.
Damn it! Hey, we're gonna try that again.
I'm not good at this. Come on, it's only Instagram.
It's my life, bro.
It's not very hard.
It's Instagram. The media director. You're a NewBee Drone.
You can't do it.
Okay.
There's somebody different this time.
They're Instagramming. Instagramming live on Instagram Live.
This is the worst thing ever. I'm surprised anybody's even watching this.
I know. Here, I need to go pull up the chat so I can.
Yeah, is there a chat? Can we
Gravy's here. Frosty's here. Hey, West P-Side's here.
Can you?
West P-Side.
Yeah, that's what I call it, man.
And Facebook, can you send me a link for this for people to join? Because I'll post it on the Instagram post for our 14,000 followers.
Yes, I posted it in the group, but I can.
Okay.
You actually, you want? I can do it again.
Yeah,
maybe.
Do it. Everybody here needs to share this link. If you're watching, share this link somewhere.
Yeah.
Share it.
Where do you guys want me to put this? You know what I'm going to do? I will share my original post again.
Is there a HotdogFPV Instagram?
There is a HotdogFPV Instagram.
Hotdog FPV. I don't see. It just comes up as. Is it Ben?
Yep, that is.
Okay, I gotcha.
That's me.
Hot dog bed.
I think it's a picture of me about to hit myself with the drone.
Yeah, I was just expecting like a hot dog.
So I just posted in the NewBee Drone Hive again.
Okay.
So you can find a link right on the top.
Hive News,
right on the top. That's how we do it, right? On the top. Yeah, right.
So what's been going on at NewBee Drone? Is there I've heard some buzz about you guys testing stuff, or
we're always testing stuff.
Always testing.
What anything specific you'd like to know, sir?
Hey, I'm willing to accept anything you're willing to share, whether it's been shared before or not.
Probably this guy.
Yeah,
the B-Brain lights.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to find the.
All right. Well, you can't really see it. But those of you that know about the V2 know probably know about the B-Brain light. But we put it all into one board instead of two boards now. On board here, let me just plug it in to show them beautiful lights.
I've heard of that thing before.
Ooh, Larson scanner, fully configurable Betaflight.
lights.
Here, hold it
Is that
closer.
the one?
Kind of hard to see in that.
Is that the one that Zorro did the box art on?
Yes.
No.
No.
I don't
He
think
claimed to.
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, he at least
I'd
claimed.
have to look.
Oh, the packaging. Yeah. That was Zorro.
Yeah. Box. Sorry.
Oh,
No, that's okay.
Because we're like working on the V box and there's like different boxes everywhere.
Can you send me a text link? I can't like copy and paste that thing from my phone for whatever reason.
You know, you have no problem with GIFs, but you can't do a YouTube link.
What's going on?
I blame Chris.
Yeah, I'll find it.
What up, Tank?
So yeah, so from the V2, this is all one board now also. I think the biggest thing is active braking, right?
Yes.
And here's the pod that it will.
The goober canopy.
The goober canopy.
It's a very swoopy.
Yeah, so as you guys can see, it's a lot more streamlined than the V2 canopy. So we'll have a lower profile.
That canopy is sexy. I can't wait.
It's kind of like a hybrid mounting of the VTX. So like a lot of you have the antenna coming straight back out. So this one kind of slants it kind of diagonally wise instead of just straight up like the V2. The mullet mod.
The mullet. That's the
hybrid mullet.
Roll, man. Party in the back. That's how I whoop.
And then obviously active braking, I think, is the biggest thing. Like on golds, I can do power loops and split S's with no washout, so it's pretty intense.
Yeah, they do fly really nice.
Yeah, and the ones you guys are testing, again, that's with that's like an early a beta prototype one, and with a heavy cap on it too.
Right.
Yeah. So, well, I imagine that there's going to be like some crazy PID profiles coming out for these things.
Yeah, that's actually what we're kind of zoning in on right now, is all the PID stuff right now, because we're actually taking a lot of input from the community, because like everyone flies so different. Like I can sit here and fly it for 10 hours in a day, but maybe my PIDs won't feel perfect for someone else and their flying style. And it's funny because I mainly fly Horizon. Chris mainly flies Acro, so it's like we're gonna have like profiles for like each mode for like angle, horizon. So we'll have like recommended, and then like for the different motors, because they're the KV is different obviously, so it's gonna be a little different when you switch different motors.
Yeah.
We have I think 150 in the wild right now being tested by beta testers to find all different bugs and make sure we put out a quality product. So once that's done, then full production ahead.
Cool. So when are we going to see the final version? You guys are anticipating December sometime?
Yeah, we're shooting for December in time for Christmas, obviously. That's our goal. So it's not looking at it, but we already have like a revision C of the board. Like the beta tester one is called our revision B. We already have a revision C that we've started making, and the PCB layouts changed a little bit. And we've done things like one of the biggest inputs is the camera plug sits up vertically. I don't know if you'll be able to probably won't focus there, but where the camera plugs in. Yeah, we got a lot of echo there. But yeah, the camera plug is vertically straight up and down. So we found that a lot of, I don't know how they do it, because you have to have something come in and like bam, directly past the duct and everything. But on the revision C, we've actually taken the plug and laid it horizontal instead, so you don't have to worry about that bending or breaking. So that was like a big physical layout change, and that as well as using different capacitors.
I think that's pretty impressive to remove that camera plug.
Like, no, it's still there. It's just moved horizontally.
And like taking it off is like flying as a pilot, like as a crash, because the way I've seen, I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen it too, but man, the way people mangle those things, it's insane.
Man.
Yeah, like they send it back to us, and we're like, what? I mean, when we've like done beta or like durability testing of these, we'll chuck these things at the wall and never break stuff that customers break. So I mean, we're kind of seasoned pilots, so we're not like abusing them and flying and stuff. And we don't, if we crash them, they're like little hits. But I mean, people must just be like full send into the walls or something when they do this.
Better learn on this than a 5-inch.
It's like they hit the ceiling and then hit the ground and then hit the ceiling.
Like, oh, it already broke. Like, well, it's a thing this big. It weighs like 20 ounces. Come on, man.
Barometer?
Grams, 20 grams.
Oh, and Also on the light, I don't know if you guys noticed, but we do have a barometer on there now.
Yes. So,
so it's gonna have like altitude hold or what?
Semi.
Yeah. So it's gonna be working in conjunction with the accelerometer and the barometer, and so it will be like a mode. We have to write custom firmware for it, but it will be exactly like an altitude holding mode. So it'll be like a training mode. So for people who are just learning to flying, we found out the hardest thing for people to learn first, new pilots, is like your altitude maintaining and stuff. So they'll be able to just hit that, and it'll stay within a reasonable, fixed area, and then they can like focus on like their direction moving and stuff. So
yeah. I was totally wondering why you guys would have gone out of the way to put that on such a small craft, and I was going to ask it eventually, but sometimes my brain works in better ways than others, and I didn't come up with that constructive question yet.
Gotcha. And I think a lot of schools would really appreciate that too, for people that have like never flown ever before. And since we're trying to help out a lot of schools, I think that's
yeah. Speaking of that, a lot of people don't know, but we actually work with quite a few schools doing education systems, like working with their STEM programs and putting packages together for students, especially because all our stuff is all plug and play. There's like no soldering required, so it's like really, really attractive to school systems, because especially with like the lower grades, they can't give like like little kids like soldering irons and stuff. They'll kill each other with them. They'd be like, "Hey man, what's this?"
Couple fifth graders with some 5-inch quads.
Oh, can you imagine?
Oh, that'd be so safe. Speaking of the STEM programs and all that, Joe and Copper Top are not here because they are driving back from doing a little program like that at a school in, I think it was New Jersey?
Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Harrisburg, there you go. Yeah.
Nice.
I figured I'd mention that. I don't have a lot of details on it. I know that they said they had a good time, so.
I'll be back. I gotta do something with this camera.
Is it drooping on you again? My God.
Use that nice little glue stuff you had earlier.
There you go. Just glue the camera down.
So Caleb, what's been going on, man?
Work, lots of work and rain and nastiness.
Showers without hair dryers.
I don't need a hair dryer. All natural drying.
Blow and go.
Are we accessorizing with our stuff? Is that what we're doing?
Why not?
Okay. Accessorize too.
Oh, dude, they're ready to race. Look at them.
2 chains.
I got the gates. So legit.
Oh yeah, these should come in soon too. Oh, another one.
Oh, the gates.
Yeah, we have circle and squares, but we
have a
should
square
be.
one here.
I can go get a square.
I prefer squares.
I like the squares.
Can we do a little product plug real quick? A new product thing.
Sure.
Oh yeah, that's why you're here.
You want.
Yeah.
So bring up that circle thing again. So we're introducing our own micro racing gates. As you guys know, they're the same kind of format as a lot of the gates on the market right now, where you can fold them down to a circle and they pop out like that. Ours are going to have these little Velcros all along the side, and they'll come with like Velcro straps with double-sided tape that you can stick to the wall or on the side of a doorway or atop a doorway or whatever, or like to random pieces of furniture to mount them.
Mounting
solutions. Yeah. Because we're trying to keep the cost down on them, and we're not including like little plastic legs because those are actually pretty expensive. So, and usually most places just do their own kind of custom mounting anyway. But do we have this square one? Is this a square one? Oh yeah.
Hey.
This is a prototype version, so the formatting isn't really correct. But this is going to be a square version. So we will have the round and the square versions. The square is obviously a little bigger,
awesome.
But the square still folds down into the little circle thing, just like so. And and the great thing is we're gonna most places right now, like if you look at any other place that's selling them, it seems like everyone's only selling them in like one quantity, like a quantity of 4. We're gonna offer them. You can either buy 1, 5, or 10, and when you buy 5 or 10 at a time, they're gonna come in this nifty gifty little NewBee Drone holding bag with a zipper.
You can put 10 in there.
Yeah, and this will fit 10, so you just
is precious.
Zip it open, and then you can see all the gates in there. So you got a nice little travel bag for that.
That makes me want one of those little sets.
Yeah, just whip it out. You're like, fire.
Let me get out my bag of gates here.
Yeah.
And so like, you know, obviously when you buy more quantity, the price will get cheaper. I believe, I don't know if it's 100%, but I believe for if you buy one alone, it's $9.99. If you buy 5, it's $29.99, and then if you buy 10, it's $49.99. I think $49.99.
Oh,
and like I said, the 5 and the 10 packs come with the little carrying bags. So
that's really good.
So $45 for 10 gates in that bag. That's cheap.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a really good price.
I just got 8 for $49.
I was even thinking those little mounting Velcro spots. You could even maybe put some lights in if you chose to do so.
Oh yeah,
we did.
Yeah.
If you look at some of the videos from like Rotorite Rampage, like our section, we use these. We just put like the LED strips behind the Velcro things and just use that.
And we're kind of working on like an optional like LED little like the tape of LED, the string of LEDs that will be you can wrap them around it, and you can use one of the little Nitro Nectar 250s to plug it in and power it. So that's like an optional thing we're working on to like you can include with it to sell if you want to make an LED gate.
It's actually really cool.
Yeah, that's a cool thing to have it use the whoop battery itself.
Yeah.
It
doesn't last super long, but I mean, you know.
Same time frame, December.
Actually, we're getting the gates Monday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you think I'm going to be able to test a set of those?
Yeah, we can do that.
I think so.
Oh, that'd be nice.
We can do that.
I'm definitely buying a set myself. I am a whooper for sure.
Well, I have another branded set that was generously passed my way last year.
You can't use those anymore.
No.
You know, and it's weird because I mean, I know Jesse sells his too, but his have been out of stock for a really long time. So I don't know if he just like stopped making them or.
He has the circular ones, but doesn't have any of the square ones.
Yeah, I think we're the only ones that make square ones, like Beta FPV and even
they've been out of stock.
Well, I do believe that the 19-inch size Tiny Whoop gate is the official multi-GP size gate for a Tiny Whoop.
I got to whoop in a classroom full of kids today.
How was
That's
that?
cool, man.
Yeah, you
awesome.
jumped right in after I said you and Coppertop were out there doing that.
Yeah. I literally just got home like not even a half an hour ago. We me and Coppertop went out to a high school and did a little presentation with a tech department. It was pretty cool. We talked to them about, you know, the stuff we do. Blew the whoop around the class, and then we took them outside and ripped the 5-inch and let them watch.
Oh
yeah.
It was so funny, dude. This one kid, he's sitting there holding the LCD, and I took off, and he goes, "Holy fuck!" And the teacher, the teacher is standing right next to the kid, and it's like. Oh my god, it was so funny.
That's pretty.
The teacher was like, "I'm gonna let that slide because I completely understand." Because they said it on the inside too when he took off.
Yeah, for real. Dude.
Honestly, I love doing that to people. Like you run into someone at a park and they'll come up to you and they'll want to know what's going on, and I'll bust out a monitor or spare set of goggles up and I take you for a ride, and I'll take out with 100% throttle punch, like right into a roll or a flip or something, and they're like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah,
you know,
like straight up, that's what everybody's first impression is.
Oh,
what the fuck is that?
Our freaking mind.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It was cool. I mean, I had my goggles, Dave had his, he had his display, and I had my little boss cam, you know, watch, and we literally let the kids pass them around as we were flying the whoop inside, and then flying the 5-inch outside.
That's awesome, dude.
But
Hell
you gotta,
that's awesome.
These kids basically they've learned about drones, but they've only known about like Kelly, like the type of stuff you do, like bridge inspections and stuff like that. They don't know about the fun side with the FPV, so it was they really got a kick out of it. It was really cool.
Nice.
Definitely something I want to do again.
Plus, it gives them a positive experience before they had an opportunity to develop a negative attitude about it, just because of something that they've heard, you know. And that's the worst stigmata of what we're doing. Is, you know, if you're into 3D printers, oh my God, you're a murderer. But you're into drones, you're a murderer.
You're a terrorist.
Yeah. You know, it's just, it's ridiculous, and people don't even understand. Always with the noodles. And if you get approached like that, they won't understand the side of it and show them. But so that's
speaking of that, I just went to Vegas like a week ago for a week, and when I went through TSA, coming back, like the San Diego airport is actually really small, but then the McCarran Airport Terminal in Vegas, it's a lot bigger, and they're like way more like anal about stuff. And I carried my 5-inch Alien on the back of my, or Source One on the back of my backpack, and I was going in, and I put it on the conveyor belt, and the TSA grabs this guy, and he goes, "What is this for?" Like, like he was like super upset. I was like, "For flying."
Smiles.
He's like, "Yeah, but what are you using it for?"
Recreational
video. Like, yeah, like he just like wouldn't accept. Like he was super like he wanted to find any excuse to take it away.
Yeah,
he wanted to keep it.
He wanted it. Wanted it for himself.
Dude, you guys heard about that whole TSA scandal that busted all these kinds of people because they were just stealing people's stuff?
They confiscate it and then take it for themselves.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't believe that.
Yeah, that would never happen.
It was like some Dateline stuff where they like tracked this dude's iPod and showed up at this guy's house and shit.
Chris Hansen.
Nice.
And he was like,
"Why don't you see it over there?"
Them dudes are like one step up above mall security, and like barely. And it's only because they get a federal paycheck. That's it.
Well, it's all an act, anyways. Like what they do doesn't really actually protect us from anything.
So last time I traveled, I was in Denver, and my license expired on my birthday. And I had renewed my license well within enough time to have the new one before I was going to go, you know, but I didn't get it in the mail for whatever reason. They weren't going to let me come home. So the license that was good enough to get me there was not good enough to get me home. Like, what are you supposed to do in that situation? You know, stay in Colorado while somebody mails you the license? That's insane. They literally detained me, searched everything I had. I mean, I thought the cavity search was coming. I'm not even joking. Just
he was like, finally it's here.
Well, yeah, I just, you know, I'm like, you know, my carry-on, I've got a jumbo bottle of lube in there. That's just disguised as hair gel, but, you know, they didn't go for it, unfortunately.
Well, you'd think that they know what it was since it was right next to your dildo.
Well, yeah, well, you know.
It started shaking. He's like, "What the hell's that?"
Keep it in a carry case, at least, you know, you don't want to turn it on while you're waiting in line. Jesus, you're a rookie. Damn. No wonder you get caught all the time.
Yeah. See, I keep mine in a lockbox, so they don't. Yeah.
Got that little key combo that he's got to put in.
Yeah, but that's no good in an emergency situation.
So Kelly, what was that race that you were in? The tiny whoop race at the bar?
Yeah. So Jay, you know Jay Day. He had he has this Whoop Brothers. Like started a Whoop Brothers group. And so they had a race at a bar down. It's like a bar and grill down in Centerville, which is like, I don't know, an hour or so from here, 40 minutes. And so, yeah, I went down. I took all of my gates with me, and he had a bunch of gates there. And we set up, I think we had like 14 people total.
Nice.
And it was pretty awesome. I actually was, so I've always said that my brush whoops are faster than the brushless stuff, and a lot of it is probably piloting. I am not really afraid of my brushed whoops, so I just go for it.
Send.
But yeah, exactly. But I did actually. I was getting beat by a 1S brushless whoop, and Dark Horse was the dude's name, Steven Morell, and he's actually really freaking fast. But yeah, so I was surprised that he had a brushless and was actually beating me. And normally, like, I guess I attribute this to going to races when brushless was all new. to whoops, but I always found that like they were clunky, and most of the guys that had them just flew 5-inch, so they weren't used to flying whoops, and they weren't really fast at the micro stuff. And to see this guy come in with the actual brushless and do, I mean, times that were, 10, 15 seconds faster than my laps, than my 2-minute section.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, and I mean, I was the fastest other than...
You're a badass whoop pilot, too, like, straight up, you're a badass whoop pilot.
Yeah, you kill it.
100 wasted in trying to do brushless whoops, and it just never works out.
That's that's what I always said, and this guy convinced me otherwise. I mean, it really is how comfortable you are. I don't know if he was flying acro or level mode or whatever, but
even all that out the window, I'm talking about the fundamental technology, even up until recently with the brushless, has just been the motors are lousy. Like the flight controllers aren't great. They consume too much power. Very poor flight times. I really, really, really want to love a brushless whoop, and I haven't been able to do it. Not at least not a 55mm.
It's coming, I'm sure. I'm sure it's coming in short supply.
Yeah.
One of the biggest issues with that is like the what is it, the 06?
06 size, 07.
Yeah, the 06 size micro brushless motors. They don't have bearings.
Yeah, little bushings instead.
Yeah, it's like a little copper bushing, and it wears out too, just like how a brushless would, except you're not getting the stability or the reliability or the longevity of like a regular brushless. So it's like you're sacrificing all the great benefits of a brushless thing in a micro size. So it's like, why spend the extra money and stuff like that when you get a brushless or a brushed motor to work almost as good? So
or you can buy all this stuff for $12.
Yeah.
Hey, all I'm saying
totally.
The stock Inductrix board too, and I guess if I were able to fly a level mode with a little bit more angle, I could surely fly a lot faster. But I think that's what my limitation was. I mean, I fly to the plastic when I'm flying a whoop, and I need more angle on it in order to go faster. So I think that's the holdback, really.
Need to design you some 30-degree camera mounts there.
Yeah, but I mean, you still can't push the stock Inductrix board beyond what it's capable of going to. And I don't fly acro in whoop races.
Yeah, me either. I fly my whoops in angle mode.
Yeah,
angle or bust on my whoop.
We have a board that can fix that problem.
Yeah, just the angle.
An old one, but
I do product testing.
Yeah.
You and the other 100 people that email us every day.
Probably.
That's funny, right, Ben?
What was that? I saw someone holding up a picture.
I'm gonna follow you guys. There, follow.
Oh my gosh! I'll follow you back. Hold on.
Oh, thanks. That'd be swell.
Are we all Instagramming now?
Bam!
Let's be Instagram buddies. Send me gifts.
What is this? I would like an explanation.
Isn't that awesome? That is like, that's awesome, right?
It's something.
It's there.
It's definitely a unicorn.
So that's a picture that I found in a business that I just thought was totally hilarious. But it says that I'm comfortable with myself. I'm a little different, but that's okay.
That's definitely different. You're not wrong about that.
It's hilarious, though. That's why I posted it.
Jameson's different, too.
It's true.
We're all special in our own
Jameson.
way.
Have I met you before?
Some are more special than others.
That is for sure.
Some are helmet special. Some are shouldn't leave the house.
All right, so something I wanted to.
Some are knee pad special.
A big.
I only brought that up because it was talked about earlier.
Copper Top and Westside, they got featured on Rotor Riot Spotlight.
Oh,
yeah, congratulations. I'm super jealous.
Congrats, boys.
No, good job, guys.
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah, that was awesome. Chris always has like the
That's
wildest videos.
Twice for Chris, dude. Yeah. So, Chris, I'm gonna tell you, man, you are killing it so much with the editing that you have inspired me to ramp up my game. And as part of that, I have started following Peter McKinnon, and I actually just performed one of his hacks on my crap lighting rig earlier.
I'm telling you, he is a fucking genius. Like, Caleb knows, David knows. Joe, I think you watched some of his videos, right? Oh wait, Joe's disappeared.
Joe's making more noodles, I'm sure.
He's a master.
Hey. Nah, sorry. I'm back. Nah, my son woke up.
So. Well, now
give him a shot of whiskey and send him back to bed.
I believe that was something Joe would do. No offense, Joe.
Nah, he's only 8. He's only 8. You gotta wait till he's at least like 10 or 12. Yeah. 8.5. Sweet.
So what else has been going on this week? I haven't had a lot going on around here. I've been busting out straps like a madman.
Yeah, it's been quiet.
I moved into a whole new longer range game.
Oh yeah,
buddy.
that is right.
You did, didn't you?
Yeah, I flew today. Probably what most would just call mid-range. Not even. Actually, I would probably have been able to do it with my Spectrum, but just the confidence of seeing the number and my OSD is like.
Yeah.
Dude, I pushed my 2.4 out there, but once you get crossfire, you don't even worry. You just, as long as I can see.
Yeah. You just go for it.
Yeah, that's it. You use your video as your gauge, and that's really all you worry about.
So, a story, I guess, of that. Where I live, I've lived here for like 4 years now, and there's this cell phone tower straight out from my house that no longer has cell phone stuff on it. It's just a tower now.
Oh,
the only thing it has is a light. And so I was like, I have never gone to it. I want to go to it. So today I actually flew like around the neighborhood, so I didn't fly, directly over, and made my little path around and actually got all the way to it and did some dives down it. It was so cool because I was sitting on the bed of my truck in my driveway, like out here flying this tower. It was pretty freaking awesome.
Do you have your LQ? You have the LQ set up in your OSD?
Yes. Yep. And I dropped a couple of times, probably just antenna placement, but nothing really below like 80%. And when it was just like for a split second.
Yeah.
So to bring up actually long range, I went over a quarter mile with the Acro Bee with fire and uniform motors. So just about 2 minutes of flight time, and that is just about enough to make it there and back. And I was sweating on the way back. I thought I was going to be walking a little bit, and that was so much fun.
That's awesome.
Great too. Actually, the video.
Yeah, the video was great.
It was just the battery life is what determined how far I could really go.
Yeah. I want to go off and go into the wind, so you're coming back with it.
Yeah. Well, maybe I might strap 2 batteries on there next time. Maybe I can get a half mile out of it, but then extra weight. So who knows?
Just go to Gold Motors.
Yeah, we've actually done a lot of like long range testing with the stock receiver, and with the stock receiver and just that one little yellow receiver antenna, we've done like it was a direct like clear shot, but we've done like
I think it was 1,500 feet when I checked it on Google.
Yeah, like 1,500 feet, going one direction out.
Through trees too.
Yeah, so even the stock receiver's got pretty good range.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always been disappointed in the range in microcrafts for some reason with just all of them. And like one time, so I was at a party at a country club, and it was like a 70s themed party. So I'm, filming and cruising through everybody. And then I decide I'm going to take a tour through this club, and I'm in the kitchen and I fail safe. That was like, I mean, obviously I shouldn't have been in there, but it just not enough range. And That was
the kind of big problem with that is like a lot of people like talk about it, but it's like, you know, when you're flying these small whoop size stuff, you've got a receiver that doesn't have like that. At least the previous ones, the light actually has diversity, but like the previous ones and all the tiny whoop ones, they don't have diversity. They don't have like a full powered long range receivers. So when you're flying a 5-inch and stuff like that, you're usually out somewhere like in a field or like somewhere. You're not inside a house or a building that has walls, cement. And then one of the things that causes the most interference and range issues is Wi-Fi signals everywhere. You know, usually anywhere you fly indoors now, there's going to be Wi-Fi, and since that's on the 5.8 gigahertz spectrum, all that stuff, depending on whatever channel all the different tech stuff is on, it's going to cause multipathing issues and range issues and stuff. So that affects it a lot, where you really don't have that kind of issue when you're flying out in a big field or something like that.
That is an excellent point.
Yep. Yeah, 2.4 and 5.8.
But I found that using the Crossfire Nano on the B-Brain, it actually has a lot more penetration power than the regular stock receiver using that 900 megahertz signal. Yeah. So even places where we had like cement wall stuff, it could penetrate way better than the stock receiver.
Well, especially the 250 milliwatt now. It's just, God, with the range of the VTX, it's 99 everywhere. I think the lowest I've ever seen it is 97.
Yes, it's really good.
I think on my Nano RX, I had it drop to 91 on my LQ when I was like miles out.
You're running scared.
Oh, I fail-safe Crossfire before. I had a serious problem with it at the last race. I'm not saying it's impossible. So, keep an eye on it, but it works great. I love it.
I really like my Crossfire, especially on that little jumper, dude. That jumper with the Hall sensors is the shit. It's like it's so small, but it's like perfect.
I definitely like it as well, but man, I feel like I'm holding cocky, but that didn't sound right together. I feel like I'm holding a ball. Like, it's awesome. It's small. You can get in long range for less than $200, but I feel like I'm holding a toy almost. I mean, it just doesn't feel as solid as my Spectrum.
Well, Spectrum is what you're going up with, not like compared to Tyrannus. I think it's about the same.
I've held the QX7, and it feels kind of like just light plasticky, but it feels more.
Well, but wait, which model was it?
What is it?
Which model QX7? Because the higher end one, the special edition, feels a lot nicer than the $100 one with AA batteries in it.
You've offended Chris.
That's all I use. Never upgrading gimbals. Not never.
Well, but there's nicer switches in the other one. I mean, they charge more. They just, they.
Yeah. So I actually bought the
Savage. Savage.
What'd you buy, Kelly?
I went ahead and got the light version so I could use it on my Spectrum.
Yep.
Because I got the bundle, so it came with like 5 receivers and all kinds of stuff. So,
dude, I think the jumper would be like perfect for tiny whoops. Personally, like I don't think I would fly my big quads with it because of the same exact thing. I thought the same thing, but it feels more solid than say like the Fly Sky radio. That feels like a freaking toy.
If you're coming from like you owned a you bought the Inductrix kit and it came with that one transmitter. This allows you to go to a NewBee or whatever other protocol and not have to worry about it. And I hooked this module that came with it. I hooked up the Spectrum. It was a pain in the butt, but it actually worked well. So
so you can use that with your Spectrum rigs now, right?
Yeah. The jumper comes with a 4-in-1 module, and it does
all the protocols.
Futaba, FR Sky, Fly Sky, and DSM.
Did it come?
Sam Jones Collins has a question for you in the chat. He has not posted it yet, but he says, "I have a question for Kelly."
Okay. What up? Oh, Sam. Yeah, that's my buddy Sam. He lives over in Columbus. Nice. So yeah, that's my experience with the jumper. I definitely like the Asado. I definitely like the ease of plugging the freaking module in the back for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, the JR module, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've used the multi-module with the Fly Sky receivers on iBus, and I've ran into one issue in that it sets off a telemetry alarm because it's set up weird in OpenTX. But that's the only thing I've had the issue with was that telemetry alarm.
Yeah, side note, we just found out with we got like a new firmware that we loaded up on it and we were testing. So that bar Sky hardware, if you just put a different like firmware on it, we're able to run Futaba also. So
cool.
Yeah, we'll be testing some of that pretty soon too.
Awesome. I have to say I use the what is it, 14SG, and I like it equally as much as I like my Spectrum. It feels solid, but again, I haven't used the Tyrannus stuff. I just haven't had the opportunity to use it. That's exciting.
I never was a Tyrannus lover.
Whoop on Futaba. That's pretty dope.
I started out with a QX7 and then went to an X9D, so that's all I've ever used.
And I like the X9D, but I do miss my DX9 Black very much. But I just wasn't happy with the DSM receivers on the market.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. Man, I really miss my DX9 Black Edition. It was like my favorite radio I ever had. But I hate how like if you want to run the module, it has to be like an external thing. Like I love on my X90 Plus that it's got the JR module that just snaps in the back and it's like not a bulge sticking out of it, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, I run the Micro Crossfire. It's nice and compact. It works perfectly.
Yep. Yeah. Now we got that software update, so you got the 200 milliwatts.
Absolutely. I had it done that night. As soon as I talked to Mike Chan, and he told me, update your Crossfire.
Yeah, boy.
Yep.
The only pain in the ass was rebinding everything after, though.
Yeah, but they auto.
I didn't have to rebind.
None of mine auto rebound. I had to take all my quads apart, take them out of the heat shrink, push the damn button, half the buttons had conforming in them. It was, it was quite a project to do them. Not one of them auto bound out of like 7.
Yeah.
That sounds like a pain in the ass. What'd you do? You had karma or something coming for that.
What kind of karma did I get? I have good karma. I take care of others. I try to be a kind human being. And I call assholes out for being assholes, you know?
He had that GoPro karma. You saw how well that worked out.
Yeah. That put GoPro out of business.
Just about
GoPro killed my last session the other day.
No. Dude, I got a session 4 for sale.
After you posted that, I found one for $50 too.
Got him.
Damn it. What? Never mind. It's not for sale.
Facebook Marketplace, man.
I want to sell it to someone in the community. I'm not that desperate.
One of my MB pilot co-pilots, he's got a session 5 for $80, so I'm gonna get that from him too. Yeah, because I still need it for my 3-inch.
Craigslist local too. Yeah. You find the session 5s for $100, $120 all day long. Good condition.
I planned on spending $150 on a session 5, but he said $80. I was like, word.
You can get them brand new for $200 still, you know.
Yeah, that's well. Now I'm stoked that I get to take my dead session back to Best Buy and get a session 7, or I mean a Hero 7.
Session 7, where?
Session 7, more clickbait like FDA, huh?
Yeah, we're gonna get us banned talking about non-existent products.
Is that why they got banned?
But yeah, I built a quad with some 2208s to carry the extra weight, so we'll see how that goes.
Speaking of which, I finally got to try a 5S pack today.
What do you think, buddy?
It made his shorts tingle, I bet.
He was like,
pants hurt.
Yeah.
It's like going from 3S to 4S.
Yeah, well, when I switched to the Armatan frames, they were a little heavier than I was used to, and then I switched to the Hero 7 from the Session. So now I'm running a lot more weight. Yeah, I'm running a lot more weight than I'm used to, and I run 2306 2450 motors.
Perfect for 5S, dude.
What motors are they?
This one is the Armatan Titan motors.
I have not tried those.
Yeah. No, they're nice.
I don't even like putting a 4S pack on a quad with less than 2205s or 2550s now.
You know, I expected it to be a lot more sensitive and twitchy than it was.
It's not, dude.
It's just
a little like extra turbo power.
Exactly, dude, and a little bit less throttle input when you need to like hold your line off the ground or something.
Yeah.
You know, it's
a little lower hover point, but other than that, it's got great sensitivity all throughout the stick still.
And you never use the top end. Like on a 4S pack, you might go to the very top. You never need to go to the top with the 5S pack, you know?
I'm sold. It was like exactly what I was looking for. Right to put me back to where I used to feel like I was flying.
I'm still a 5S virgin.
Yeah.
I'm flying about 2S
yeah.
Someday.
Yeah, you need to try it. You need to try it.
Yeah, eventually.
I've got some of those old graphene packs that I got for like $11.
Yeah,
that I'm still burning through.
So committed to the China lines right now, and it's they were tried and true, and I got a million 4S China line packs. So
I told you guys a while ago, stop buying 4S packs, just buy 5S.
Yeah, I actually right after I left with Dave to head home, I went on Amazon and ordered a bunch of 5S balance leads and
look at that Tiny Hawk
and a Strix Bardwell balance board.
There you go, dude.
Ooh, Tiny Hawk. Here, let me present that.
Yeah, no, wait, what's that other thing?
Tiny Hawk.
No, not the Tiny Hawk. That one.
This one is it's our limitless frame using our 16x16 all in one stack hiding on the inside.
Dude, that's it.
You guys
I think it'll do like 0 to 60 in like 1 second too. It's ridiculous.
I want that.
On 2S.
I want
this thing's crazy powerful, dude.
What motors are on there? What are they?
These are the Rotor Riot dabs. They're the 1104 7500 KVs.
Wow.
While you're presented there, can you guys confirm thick earth for us?
Confirm what?
Thick earth.
Yes, thick earth confirmed.
You confirm or deny? Yes.
I'm afraid to answer that one, but for Brady's sake, confirmed.
It's been confirmed.
Or it's like there's round earth and flat earth, and this is thick earth.
We believe here in thick earth. Look at that.
This is a HotdogFPV theory all in itself.
You have
live confirmation. Look at that.
Now we're comparing sizes. I mean,
two guys comparing sizes.
Dude, that Tiny Hawk is badass looking. I like how the motors and stuff are on the bottom.
Reverse.
Yeah.
My 2 inches bigger than yours.
Now that takes a special kind of prop, huh?
Yeah, because the prop actually, I'll pull it out.
Don't do it. Don't do it. He's gonna break it. Watch.
The first Baby Hawks had.
It's a pusher.
Like dumb
props. Yeah, it goes up and sits all around the motor.
Oh, it sits like around the bell.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
Like,
that actually makes a lot of sense.
Props.
How does that sit? Like when you go to take off, it's just on the battery. It's up.
Yeah, it sits because the battery sticks down.
And then it has these little like extra nub things that keep it from like
So if you're flat, there's no way you're gonna end up with the prop in the dirt.
Nah, not really.
Not unless you're in a grass and there's some.
With a push on prop, that actually makes a lot of sense because now you're forcing that prop up into into the chassis. So yeah, I like that idea.
Well, now durable too.
Yes, durability.
Man, we have smashed this thing. We did like super big power loops when we were like first trying it, and other people were trying it for the first time, and it just got like slammed like full speed into concrete, and it's still good. I'm really surprised because this body is like super flexible, so we're like, oh man, it's gonna break, but it hasn't.
Well, flex is good.
And
what?
It goes underwater.
It doesn't go underwater, but it went underwater.
I'm not going to name names, but someone in the company,
he might be the owner,
flew it into like a bucket of water that we were using to discharge bad batteries. So it was in the water for like a whole second submerged, and we took it out and I like sprayed it down with alcohol and dried it over a fan for like 5 minutes, and it came right back to life. So,
dude, that's awesome.
What size are the batteries in there?
These are a 1S 450 mAh. And compared to our 250s that you use in the Tiny Whoops.
Oh, okay.
Not too bad. I think I used something similar to that in my Beta 75 and Beta 85. Like maybe 450s and 650s.
Jam one of them in my NewBee. My Acro.
No, actually, what I don't have it here. It's in the office, but we're testing a 300 milliamp 1S batteries right now because our current one is a 250. So we have a 300. It's the same thickness. Thick lipo confirmed.
Thick lipo.
It's just a little bit longer. So, but 50 milliamps will be a big difference in terms of flight time. So.
Oh yes, I want
the long range edition.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yes. We made it just for your Crossfire.
You said you were slamming that Tiny Hawk into the concrete and stuff.
Yes.
How durable were the props? Did you have to go and change a bunch of props too? Or
no, and
we don't have any props.
It only ships with the one set, and they don't even sell the props separately yet.
Not yet. We have them coming though.
Do we?
Oops.
That's scary.
Shout out to Farmer FPV. What's up there, Rob?
Oh, NorCal Rob's here.
Yo, Rob.
Oh, you guys want to see a prototype antenna we're making too?
Prototype.
Sure.
Of course we do.
Okay, so this is the stubby version, but this is a pagoda style antenna. Where you got the 3 PCBs, and if you notice, they're in
an octagoda.
Oh.
And what else has that shape?
Oh,
that's cool.
It's our logo.
Oh,
are you gonna get yellow PCBs?
Yeah, so it's gonna be.
Let me go get them.
Oh, yeah, we have them. This was just like an early test sample version of the actual PCBs, and we're gonna offer them in pre-built or in a kit, and the kit will be really easy, where it just comes with this antenna, and the boards are already cut out, and you just slide them on, and you solder it. It's really easy, really quick, and it'll be a lot. Cheaper.
Let me give you a tip. If you're down,
putting that together.
Make it like a longer option.
We will. There already is.
Because you can buy like the DIY kits that come with everything you need, but they only come with like the standard size. If they made it longer to where you can choose, like that would be so cool.
Yeah. That's too close.
So that's sweet.
Oh
yeah. So just imagine that, but
that
is Mexi.
Yeah. Oh, what does it say on the bottom? So this is a
his own thing.
LHCP one. Yeah, I don't think it's going to focus, but yeah, you get the idea. So
that's cool.
So just imagine. So we're gonna make a pagoda style, and we're also making a patch version, which is just like a bigger version of this.
Wow, right on.
So
that's cool. That's cool to see you guys are doing other stuff than just what your specialty is.
Yeah, the whole goal is eventually to like have our own stuff of like all the basic stuff you need, like antennas, radios, goggles, but baby steps one at a time, so
totally.
So I am really impressed with the innovation that you guys have in the company at NewBee Drone. I'm going to tell you straight up, last year I was really skeptical with the Acro-Bee kit, with the 2 boards and the way the camera was mounted and everything. And I would have never gotten into one if, like, literally my YouTube viewers were like, do the Acro-Bee build, do the Acro-Bee build. So I reached out to you guys. We were able to work something out. I got one into the channel, and it was literally my favorite micro quad last year out of any of them, hands down. I literally flew it until it did not fly anymore. And that's it. And I don't care no more because now I got the replacement. and it's now officially seasoned. But no, I'm really, you guys are doing some awesome stuff. So it's
and I would like to drop a hint. I can't say too much about it for specifics, but I don't know what you guys fly in terms of if you like beta flight or if you like the stock inductric sports, or if some of you are flying alien stuff that has silverware. But we will have a solution for those of you that like that. So that's all I can say though.
Cool. That's cool. Cliffhanger.
I actually fly.
On that note, we're out.
Yeah.
That's it.
See, I want to take a race flight board and put beta flight on it and run Kissy SCs and just piss everybody off.
You should start a Kickstarter. I'd contribute.
So I posted a picture a couple days ago, and I have a flight one, race flight, whatever the hell it's called.
Whatever his name is this week.
Are you Captain Vanos?
Helio board on top of it, which is kind of funny because it's the two companies.
That's funny. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I liked how Harry was on our show the other week, and Ben was like, "Yeah, this is Harry from Butterflight," and he's like,
"I was like, no."
Wait a minute, back the bus up, because the first thing he said to Ben is don't, and I even said privately to Ben, I said just don't bring up Butterflight about anything, and then Harry he says don't bring it up, and then you let him.
And I'm like, "Bam."
I'm like,
no, that dude is super cool though. He had a lot of cool info.
He was up late because it was like super early for him. And what was it? Derek said he had a fire drill right after the show.
His start time was 1 o'clock in the morning. So essentially he stayed up till a little past 2 o'clock in the morning with us. Then he said he was up for about another hour. And right when he started falling asleep, they had a fire drill in his dorm. And that was it for the rest of the night. He had to get up and go to a test in the morning. Didn't get any more sleep after he was on with us. But he did all right though. So
he's a smart kid. He knew a shitload about 3D printers. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. No, he said he had a good time, so it was all good, all in good fun.
Yeah, we've definitely been having some good guests on the show. I've been digging the shows we've been together for sure. Thank you guys for coming on. This
thank you.
Very informative.
Well, the scary thing is this is actually starting to become legit.
I know. It's not just making.
This has been legit, Derek. Come on. Legit.
Not just us talking about garbage anymore.
Well, I think we know what special guest to invite for that.
About talking about garbage.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. Hey, did you guys? I don't know how technical you guys want to get to talk, but I thought maybe something like a cool, like few minute thing I could discuss if we have time is how the active braking works on a brushed quad, because it's like new to the brushed quad industry.
Yes, I would love to hear about that.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
I heard you
I'll talk about
it earlier.
I'll talk about that and then the OSD, because those are two very like unique things that we actually innovated for this board to fit everything on. So for the active braking, usually on a brushless, a 3-phase motor, you know, if you say you have the three phases, you know, the wire sticking out, you spin the motor and then you bridge two of them. What happens?
It starts spinning. Yeah.
Right. It creates a short. It bridges a connection, and usually the ESC is what's taking care of reversing that polarity and taking care of that on a brushless. So on a brushed, the theory is the same thing. If you take a brushed motor, the two wires coming out, you spin them, propeller, and you bridge them, it'll stop it, you know?
Okay.
So since we don't have like a ESC with a 3-phase motor setup for the light board, what we actually did is we added a extra MOSFET per motor onto the board. And what that MOSFET does is when it engages the active braking, that MOSFET bridges the connection, basically shorts it out. And what's also interesting, because a lot of people say, oh, doesn't that just like waste power or something like that? It doesn't, because what actually happens is it stores that energy back into a capacitor on the board, pretty much the same thing as regenerative braking, like on a hybrid EV or something like that.
I was thinking that because I drive a hybrid.
There you go. Nice. So, yeah, pretty much the same thing. So that's kind of how we figured out how to make the active braking, and it does make a very noticeable difference, especially when you're flying in acro mode. That's when it's the most noticeable.
Well,
and then
what board is that again?
The B-Brain Lite. So it's our third version of the B-Brain board, and that's the one that has everything all in one board now. We got your F4 flight controller, your OSD, your receiver, and your VTX all on the same board.
Very cool.
Yeah, and then in terms of the OSD, I don't know how familiar you guys are with chip components on flight controllers, but every 30 by 30 or whatever, or 20 by 30 flight controller, they all use the same chip for OSD, which is like this kind of small rectangular little chip. And that's a ASIC chip, an application-specific chip. So that chip is literally made just for the purpose of Betaflight OSD. That's all it can do. It's pretty good about that, but the downside is it's pretty big when you look at it on the board compared to all the other chips, and also it uses a good amount of power. So with these bigger boards and stuff, no one's really like thought, hey, let's like design a brand new chip for that when this already exists and it's super cheap and it's already made to work with Betaflight, so you don't have to write any custom firmware with that. But in order to fit everything on one single board without stacking another board, it wasn't going to fit on there. So what we actually did is we had our software engineers. We use a tiny little chip. It's not going to show on the camera, but it's one of the tiny little ones on the board. And actually, it's a tiny MCU. So it's just a processor that you can program to do anything you want. And we spent like 2 months having our software engineers custom write firmware that pretty much mimics the Betaflight code for the OSD. So that way we could program a processor to actually do exactly that. And the outcome of that is we have a chip that is like 75% the size of that regular OSD chip, and it uses 75% less power. So not only are we saving real estate, we're saving weight, and we're saving power. So that alone, just the OSD chip took like straight 2 months of coding and engineering to make that work. But we're hoping that...
Yeah, but that's a win. That's a big win.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the only way it's possible.
A huge win.
That could change the industry.
Yeah, absolutely. We're hoping like it actually kind of takes off, and I don't know if it's something we'll license out or anything like that. That's I don't know about that stuff, but hopefully like it will take over those long rectangular chips in the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know what? Eventually, every single piece on that board is going to get smaller and smaller, and that's just how it goes. Yeah.
So you guys,
everything's gone in the industry since it started. Just gets smaller and smaller.
Yep. So you guys can relate to the size. I would say it's probably slightly bigger than a standard MOSFET on an ESC, like a 30 amp ESC. Right?
Oh yeah, the OSD chip.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's small.
Very tiny.
Hell yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, so that's a little of the custom stuff we've done for the B-Brain Lite for you guys that didn't know.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
That sounds nice. I haven't used a B-Brain since the V1. So.
Oh, you've been missing out. The V1's like a dinosaur.
Yeah.
So everyone go buy a B-Brain Lite in December.
I feel like I need to now.
Shipping.
You do.
The active braking is a huge deal. I remember when I went from BL Heli without that to some other speed controllers
Libre
that had an active braking on brushless.
It's like
it was like night and day difference.
Well, you forget to turn it on, and it feels like something's wrong.
I know, it's just like
on here.
Yeah, the biggest thing that we notice, like usually if you're with these little guys, because the props are so tiny and like wind and air going through them affects them so much because they're so tiny that normally before brushless or active braking, you drop the throttle and then you got to wait for the motor to spin down, and then you have air going up because it's dropping, so you have to wait for momentum, to stop it. So like if you just drop your throttle to get through a gap, you gotta kind of ride it and wait. But now with the active braking, it like drops right away. And then another cool thing is something I've noticed when Chris flying, because Chris does really good acro with this. But like normally, if you're like going in this kind of a pattern where you're kind of going side to side to get through different obstacles, when you go, it kind of like a boat, it has a little bit of drift when you want to change the direction, because of the momentum. But now with the active braking, it's like snap, 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 snap. So it's very, very noticeable compared to the V2.
Well, I've noticed that it flies much better outside than anything else in its class. It's you take a whoop and you go outside and there's a light breeze and you're just all over the place.
Yeah, you're a leaf in the wind. Yeah.
Not even a problem. Just, I mean, you know, enough's enough with it, but it handles a lot. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and again, that is with the Rev B with the big cap on it. So
it'll be another like almost gram lighter when it's finally done.
And a gram is a huge deal on these things.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah, so I cut pieces of the
frame out. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, it's 7:05, and I'm tired. I've had a long day of trying to take the day off. So I got a ton of work to do tonight. I want to thank you guys from NewBee Drone for coming on and showing us all this cool stuff and telling us about your new stuff going on.
Thanks for having us.
Chris has got his China hobby line, of course.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'd like to thank everybody who came and joined us in the chat. Parker Russell, NorCal Rob, all the normal guys that we always see.
Aaron. Yeah.
All the homies that have been around since day one for the most part.
Absolutely.
So
that's
we
why
will
we
see
do
you
this.
guys. What's that?
I said that's why we do this.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
We love you guys.
Be part of the community, right?
Thanks, everybody. Thank you.
All right. We will see you guys next week. Same time, same channel.
Later.
Later.
Take it easy, guys.